Hello everyone. I wanted to go over a project I did a couple years ago. This is our washer and dryer, and with them being front loaders, it's a pain in the butt to bend over and dig the clothes out and put them into the dryer. Now these manufacturers do sell a stand that can come with them, but I'm not sure if they're made out of gold or what because they are crazy expensive. I think the cheapest I've seen them was about $1,200 for a set, up to about $3,000, and that's just ridiculous. I decided to build my own, and researching, the plans I found were either too simplified and I didn't feel it was safe, or it was overcomplicated to have things like drawers. So this is what I came up with. And at the end of the video, I'll go over the kind of material I used and how much it cost. Right now, I'll break down how it's built to see if it's something you might be interested in for yourself. The construction is simple. It's made with 2x4s, a 4x4, and a 3/4 inch sheet of plywood. And instead of designing something with drawers, I opted to go with an open plan. I wanted to be able to slide a laundry basket underneath this. Because if it was just drawers, things will just get stored in them and they'll be forgotten about. But if we have a laundry basket, it can serve a couple purposes. One is a place to store the laundry basket, and two, when you're switching out laundry, you don't have to worry about laundry falling on the floor. You can just pull the basket out, and if you accidentally drop some, it lands on a nice clean laundry basket instead of a dirty concrete floor like mine. When I designed this stand, not only was I worried about the weight of the washer and dryer, but also the gyration of the washer when it has a full load of laundry. The first thing I did when I built this was construct 3 frames that were identical, and they are made with 2x4s. In the way this is designed, you can make this as wide or as tall as you need to be. This was made for me for what fit in my space. On the height of this frame, you can add another 2¼ inches to get your overall height once it's finished. With this exploded view, I'll give you an idea how it's put together. Everything is held together with wood glue and construction screws. You can use nails, but I had screws on hand. After I constructed the 3 frames, I cut my 4x4 posts to size, and then I lagged those to the frames. I then tied it all together with 2x4s. And I didn't put the center 2x4s in, the support, until after I put the top frame on. Now structurally, they're stronger like this, standing up. But in reality, I laid them down when I built this thing. I've had this now for about 2 years and everything looks fine, so I don't think it matters either way at this point. You might not even need them, but I think it's better safe than sorry. And then after you lay out your final 2x4s on top to get some cross bracing support, you just cap it all off with your sheet of plywood. And after I built this thing, I jumped on it and did some surfing, and it didn't move a bit, so I was very happy with how strong this was. Now after I designed this, I went and figured out my cut list, and then I took the drops and added it all together and tried to figure out exactly what kind of wood I needed. I can't remember what I spent, but at the current prices in my area, this is the material I used: a 4x4x8 post, 9 2x4x8s, and 1 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. So the 4x4x8 is almost $11, and your 2x4x8s are running $4.21 in my area anyway. The most expensive thing on this list will be the sheet of plywood, and it's a 4x8 sheet, and you don't even need the full sheet. Now, $75 for the sheet of plywood, plus the 9 2x4x8 you need and the 4x4x8 post, comes to $123.38. Now, of course, this doesn't include the tacks or the paint or the glue or the fasteners I used. Now, if you're trying to save money, I think a 1/2 inch sheet of plywood would be just fine, and it's only $50 compared to $75. But I wouldn't do a 1/4 inch sheet. Well, I guess you could use a 1/4 inch sheet just for skin if you added some more 2x4s on top. Now after I built the frame, I had some leftover MDF, so I used it to skin it to make it look better. And then I used some all-purpose Bondo to get rid of all the seams. After sanding that down, we went to the store and picked up some paint to complement the color of the washer and dryer. And this is what it looked like when we were done. My wife was really happy with the results. I picked up some trim at the hardware store to give it some character. Walking back through the aisle, I ran across this wall paneling molding and thought it was perfect to put on the side, and it matched the trim to what I wanted. Well, as you can see, I probably overbuilt this thing, but that's okay. The lumber wasn't that expensive, and I wanted something that would last. But in any case, I hope this gave you inspiration for your build if you're looking to build something like this. You know, copy what I did or change it up, make it a little bit cheaper. It's all up to you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope to see you in the next one.